Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Odin's Movie Blog. I am the critic who is a cynic. How is everybody doing? Oh man, what a journey it has been. So yes, we are back on the main channel because, so let me just say, for anyone that doesn't know, for anyone who's been like, where's Odin been for a long time? So I had moved the channel, at least for live streams, over to this new channel, Welcome to Asgard, because YouTube's algorithm sucks. And so I thought, oh, you know what, I'll just start doing live streams on another channel, and then that way it can avoid any traffic and avoid any issues, and everything will be fine. And so I thought, okay, that's going to work. I tried it, and then I started to realize that my sub count, which had been like consistently growing, just stagnated. In fact, the first time in maybe several months, I had a day of no gains, which I was like, okay, this is kind of odd. So I started just to like do some math on it and realized, okay, pretty much a lot of this coincided with the move to the new channel. And so my current goal now, this is the new game plan, is I'm going to be streaming on this channel from this day forward. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to unlist these videos and then re-upload them onto the new channel. And then it's, you know, anyone can see it. So if you missed the chat and you don't have the link, it'll be up on the new channel. And I'm still going to do vlogs and more personal stuff on that new channel as well, if that is something that you're interested in. So that new channel, again, is Welcome to Asgard, but I think it was causing a lot of confusion, not only on my part, but obviously on YouTube's part as well. So I am glad to be home. I am glad to be back on this channel, and it has been a crazy week, so I'm sorry that we have not done this sooner, but yeah. It's been fun. How's everybody doing? Oh man, we got almost 20 people in here already. Tina's here. Steph is here as well. In disguise, me, cough, cough. What is up? How's it going? Peabody's here. Greta, what's up, Greta? How's it going? How's it going? It's Trap Productions. You have a good live stream, sir. Thank you so much for stopping by. Patrick McDuff is here as well. Sember2, what's up, Sember2? JKD Buck is here as well. Eric Cayuga. I am here, I see you, you are here, and you are welcome. Mex, Brad, and Lando aren't here yet, so it is not a party. That is true. It ain't a party without Brad the Troll and Lando, because everyone loves a little Lando in their life. JKD, open forum topic suggestions. Hey, man. Yeah, that's what this is. So I haven't done one of these in a very long time. So this is indeed open forum. So once I'm done with all the introductions, catching up with the chat, yeah, pretty much any topic is essentially on the table. There are certain things, obviously, that because of my job I can't talk about, or I can't go into much detail about, obviously, but I can talk about a variety of different topics. So not just movies or pop culture or Star Wars, but variety of different topics. So if you've been having those questions that maybe I've said, hey, wait for another stream, wait for, wait for the other stream to happen. We already have it. Leave the light in. What's going on, man? Thank you for the the Aussie $2 super chat. Thank you, bro. What's up, you sexy beast? Hope you're well. I'm at work. Well, that sucks, Lethal. But thank you for stopping by. I appreciate the donation, man. It's great. It's great to see you. Guys, if you have not checked out Lethal Lightning's channel, please do so. He is a really, really cool dude. I need to have him back on the channel now that things have kind of settled down in my life. I can hopefully get a little bit more of a consistent schedule. So I'd love to have some kind of... I know that for a long time I was planning on trying to eventually turn the one-man low councils into an even bigger farce and have it be more than one person, because I'm still going to call it the one-man low council, but I think it'd be funny just to have like one or two people on, and Lethal Lightning is definitely one of the persons that I would love to have on that stream. So Lethal, man, hit me up, and as soon as I get my schedule correct, we will definitely be streaming together soon. So thank you very much, man. All right. Oh boy. Oh man. Lots of people here. Lots of people here. Hello, hello, hello. How's it going? And also, guys, it seems to still be working on the new channel. All you need to do is put Odin. You do not have to put at anything. Just put Odin, and it'll pop up orange for me. So it actually saves you work in the process. You don't have to do nearly as much work. So just put Odin in the very beginning of your comment. I will see it, and I will read it. Tina says, and in honor of Kevin Smith, I'll be crying all evening. God. And I've said this in the video, too. Kevin Smith is a really cool guy. Again, this is a guy who I ran into on the street when I was 19 years old in college. And me and my friends just stopped him and said, hey, is there any chance you'd be interested in taking a picture? It's my birthday. And he did, and it was really cool. Like, he was a really cool dude. So I do also like a lot of his movies. Does he have some bad movies? Sure, every director has bad movies, but I also really like a lot of his movies. Dogma. Yeah, the Catholic man in me, for some reason, loves Dogma, which is a total... farce of, or making a farce of religion and spiritual belief, but it's great, it's brilliant. So I really do like that overall. Sorry, I saw Sembertube says, no gains? Do you even lift, bruh? I've started working out. By the way, fun fact, yeah, just this week actually, I'm 2 days into the workout. So I did weights yesterday and cardio, and today I just did cardio. So yeah, we'll see what happens because I've never really been able to consistently work out ever in my life, but I have it in my calendar, so that way I see it, and it's motivated me to go so far. So 2 days in, I'm sore, but I'm doing okay. JKD Buck, what's going on, bruv? Max says, crap happens. Yes, that's very, very true. William McCready, welcome to the channel. See, look, I already get subs. Like, I don't know what it is. I just don't understand it. I feel like YouTube's just like, oh, you thought you can get around us, eh? Well, just you wait. Just you wait. December dude, welcome to Odin Dome. Yes, indeed. Peabody. My sub count stagnates every day. Peabody, I have been watching your videos. I haven't been able to watch all of them, but I love the video you did where you were watching, was it an American that was telling the difference between Australians and others? Like, I don't know what it was, but it was pretty great. Mike G, what's going on, bruv? Patrick Duff says, have you gotten better at Fortnite? Heck no, I have not, but Fortnite now has planes. Yes, that's right. Fortnite now has planes, so I'm definitely going to be doing some kind of gaming stream this weekend, and I'm going to be diving into the new Fortnite, and oh boy, they have planes. So my goal is to get in a plane and just fly around. And if I can somehow just dive bomb and snipe people from the plane, I'll be down. But that means that dogfights can be a possibility. That could be a lot of fun. Like, that could be a lot of fun. So I'm actually pretty excited about that. All right, let's see what we got here. Greta says, I know you're not going to watch, but what are your thoughts on Kevin Hart hosting the Oscars? I think he'll be good. I think he'll be good too. I honestly think, though, that there is a good chance he could be booted out. Because as soon as he was announced, guess what happened? Oh my gosh, all these homophobic jokes have been found. And it's like, oh, this is why we can't have nice things. It's just like, he's a great comedian. He's a funny comedian. It's so interesting that there's these different, and this is identity politics to a T. Like, there's these different identity subgroups. And certain ones are seen as being more victimized or more lower on the scale. And so if your victimhood is lower, then you are not nearly as important. If someone has a higher victimhood essentially than someone else, they're the one that gets priority. And even even if you're still a victim, you don't get priority because you're not as high of a victim. So it's just amazing to me. It truly is amazing to me that they're going after him, because I think he could be a really good host, because he's not really that much of a political guy. I mean, I've seen some of his comedy shows, and he doesn't really make any political jokes. He's mostly he's a comedian, and like, that's why I like him. He's not that person that's just going to try and bring people down and try and make a political statement. He's like, no, I'm going to try and make you laugh. And I do appreciate that. I honestly respect him for that. And then maybe I could be wrong. Maybe he has said political things in the past, but not that I've seen in the shows that I've watched him. Mex says, Verse Hybrid says, hello, brother. What's going on? What's up, bruv? Mex says, did you know that you can store wild rice grain indefinitely and they won't spoil? You said anything goes. I did not know that. That is an interesting fact. Sounds like I need to get some wild rice grain in my house. Coach Millhouse. That's a great Coach Millhouse. What's up, bruv? Hey, Odin, recent lurker since we were in Lethal's Hangout stream a while back. Well, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Glad to have you here. Alejandro Flores Ibarra says, hey there. What's up, Alejandro? How's it going? How's it going? Gator O, everyone, I am not proud to say 2018 YouTube Rewind was a Fortnite theme. Gator, I'm not surprised by that at all. I haven't even watched the Fortnite, or not the Fortnite, I guess it is a Fortnite Rewind, but I'm actually not surprised by that at all because it was a huge game in 2018. Peabody says, is Kevin Smith the guy that almost died? I think he did. Yeah, I think he had like a heart attack. He had some, yeah, I think he is. I mean, there's a lot of people that almost die, but I'm pretty sure he was one of them. I'm pretty sure he was one of them. Yeah, he was a very chill dude. Very, very chill dude. 70B likes Dogma as well. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's a funny movie. Chris Rock is great in it as well. And it's again, it's making fun of religion, especially the Catholic Church. But I can appreciate it for what it is, and it's funny. Like, I can't deny that it's funny. Alejandro says, have you ever seen Terry Gilliam's Brazil? It's my favorite film of all time. I've never seen Brazil. And I think one of the reasons why is because Terry Gilliam is is definitely an acquired taste. And I have seen a couple of his movies. The one that I actually really liked, and I think it's because I love the actor that was in it. It was the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus, and it was actually Heath Ledger's last full-length film. And it was his last acting credit. And I really liked it. I thought it was, and also the fact that they hadn't finished filming the movie and that they were able to finish it for him. And the way that it worked was that they had filmed and finished all of the real world sequences. So the only thing they hadn't done was this, inside the Imaginarium, like this really cool kind of psychedelic theme, if you've never seen it, it's very interesting. It's definitely bizarre. I mean, it's Terry Gilliam, so he's the guy that did he did all the animation for Monty Python. So if anyone's ever seen Monty Python Search for the Holy Grail and you notice like the animation that happens between the scenes and stuff, that's all Terry Gilliam. So that's his like crazy but brilliant mind. Very, very creative man. And I will say that I really do enjoy his work in that. But the fact that he was able to take that movie and was able to get 3 actors to play his part. And the way that they played it off was that when you're inside the Imaginarium, that you can be whoever you want to be. And so basically it almost brings a huge layer, adds several layers to this man's character, because you realize this guy has no identity. This guy is basically being whoever he has to be to try to get ahead in life. And so one time he goes in, he's Johnny Depp. One time he goes in, he's Colin Farrell, which is probably my favorite because I love Colin Farrell. And then another time he goes in and he's Jude Law. And it's like, this is just really cool. It was a very brilliant way that they did it. And there were all guys that really liked Heath Ledger as well. And it was just really cool to see that happen. So I've never seen Brazil, but it's been on my list because of that reason. And also it's Criterion release. And those are very hard movies to watch because it's impossible to get it for cheap. And unless you have Filmstruck, which I think just got canceled or is in the process of getting canceled, I know there's like a petition to try and stop that. You really can't really watch those films. It's hard to find them. And so that's kind of the reason why, a couple of different reasons why I have not ever seen that film. Eldrick says, if we do get a Star Wars trailer, because Episode 9 has so many reshoots already, believe we will only see sock puppets as stand-ins for its trailer. You know what? At least that would be entertaining, Elric, because it would be like, they're failing already. They can't even put a trailer out. Let's see. Isaiah, what's up, Isaiah? I thought you were going to stream with Antonio. I said that I was going to be available to play a little bit. I didn't say that I was going to do an official stream. I said I was going to try and play tonight. So, I mean, maybe there's a miscommunication, but if I do play tonight, if he's on, like, I'll definitely will play. I don't know if I'll stream that. Maybe if I have extra time at the end of the stream, I'll go over to the Welcome to Asgard channel and do a gaming stream there. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Donald Hudson says, did you see 70B's first video? It was precious. I have not seen it yet. She shouted out, and it's very short, and I want to watch it. But guys, Stephanie B, check out her channel. Show her new video some love. It's like 11 seconds long, I think, and it's 70B, and she's amazing. 70B and Tina are both amazing. And if either of them decide to make videos on a regular basis, I will always shout them out because they are fantastic. But 70B she has made a video, guys. Finally. Remember we were pushing her to do YouTube back in the day? Well, she has made her first YouTube video, so show her some love. Show her that it is fun and that she can do it. I believe. Tina says, is Heimdall on? He should be. Yes, he should be on. Has anyone tried? Heimdall should be on. Oof. Maybe he's... Again, I had to switch over the chatbot, and it says it's active here. So it says it's active here, but your guess is as good as mine because I have both bots running. So I have both bots running. Now, whether or not they're going to tell you anything, I don't know. But they are still collecting your cookies and stuff like that. So if you can't check them, they are still collecting them. So I'll have to try and, figure that down the line. Let's see. Oh, my goodness. So many comments. So many comments. This is crazy. Oh, this is crazy. Peabody says, yep, Americans. Yep, that's what I thought, Peabody. And Americans are stupid sometimes. Stephen D says, how you doing tonight? And it's almost Friday. Dude, it is almost Friday, and I cannot wait for the weekend. Next week is our last week before exams, so I'm like, yeah, almost Christmas break. Yeah. Dion, so I need to teach you how to fly. Yes, Dion, exactly right. So that I can be amazing at Fortnite, you need to teach me how to fly. I'm sure it's not going to be nearly as complex as like the real-life simulator that you use, but yes, definitely need some tips. Hyper says, I saw Bohemian Rhapsody tonight. Thought it was decent. Wasn't bad. 7 out of 10. I loved it. I thought it was great. I'd probably give it closer to like 8.5 out of 10, to be honest. I think it was really good. Maybe even one of my favorite movies of the year. It might not make my top 10 list, though, because I think there were a lot of other movies that I liked a little bit more than that. But I love it. I thought it was great. It was a very good time. Patrick Duff says, the YouTube Rewind is cringy and terrible. Also, no PewDiePie, which is sad. It wasn't much like 2018 at all. How can you not have PewDiePie? He is still the #1 channel. Like, here's what gets to me. You're having a 2018 Rewind, and you avoid one of the biggest stories of 2018, which is the T-Series PewDiePie show-off. Are you kidding me? Are you... it makes you wonder who's making these, and it's obviously politics. They obviously are shunning him out of it because they're like, oh, at one point in time, he said something inappropriate. It's like, yes, because you know that he's a hateful person there's so many things. There's so many things I guess. Someone asked me a more pointed question. Maybe I'll dive into that a little bit more because there's a lot I could say about that whole situation. Greta says he's not politically correct, which I like. He won't be like Kimmel. Dude, Kimmel's awful. Kimmel was probably one of the worst hosts ever. The fact that the ratings plunged under the 2 years that he was running the show tells you all you need to know. The only reason why he got it twice is, one, because he's probably one of the few people that actually want the job, because it's a job that most people don't want to do, but also, too, because he's a hardcore liberal SJW, where he's going to constantly bash Trump, etc. So it might actually be refreshing if the host, for once, isn't constantly bashing Trump, but instead is just going to make great jokes that makes everyone laugh. I mean, again, he's not PC, but that's because he goes after everybody. And he doesn't just, so many things. So many things indeed. Will Gentry, it's worse than that, Odin. Your position on the oppression Olympics table can change. In some cases, a black man would be above a gay man, but this time the gay man is higher because the black guy made jokes. It's so crazy that, because when you think about it, identity politics and I'm forgetting the actual official title for it. It's not identity politics is a part of it, but there's a senator just made a comment about saying too, the future is female. She said this, the future is female, which is interesting because nowadays, for someone on the left especially to make that kind of a comment, you think to yourself, wait, how can you assume the future's identity? How can you assume the future's gender? I thought that gender was fluid, so couldn't you say that the future is possibly male, possibly female, possibly one of the 100,000 genders that now exist? I mean, let's just be honest. Like, let's just at least be fair, right? You know, fair is fair. Dave Bob, what's going on, bro? What's going on, Dave Bob? How's it going, bro? Coach Millhouse says, of upcoming movies, which one strikes a nerve? Lion King, Mary Poppins, or Bumblebee? Depends on the nerve. Lion King looks awful, and I know there's some people who are excited about it. I'm sorry. Stop turning classic movies into live-action movies. Stop. Disney, you have so much talent working for you to make original content, and you are wasting our time by remaking a movie that never needed to be remade using subpar CGI and casting Beyonce, which is just stupid. That's my thought about that. So yeah, that one definitely touches a nerve, definitely in the negative way. Bumblebee, I'm excited about. I will say I have hated the Transformers movies. The first one was the only one where I was like, okay, I can get through it. If I had to watch it again, I could, but I wouldn't ever go out of my way to watch it. It just wasn't interesting. It wasn't good. It was just CGI noise. And I use that a lot. When CGI is done and used for the sake of CGI, I don't like it. Now, I will say this. I will defend Transformers here, that I think that it probably has some of the best use of CGI recently because it doesn't CGI every single element, and the CGI that they do use tends to be very, very good. Bumblebee, though, not only looks like it has really good CGI, but also looks like it has a good story, too, which is something that it's been lacking for a very long time. So I'm actually very excited for Bumblebee. I think that it could be really, really good. And then Mary Poppins, again, I understand why they're trying to revisit the property, but I'm not really... The trailers haven't really picked me... The trailers haven't really caused me to swoon for it. It really hasn't caused me to really be excited for it. I don't care. I don't really care for it. So out of all those, Bumblebee I'm most excited for. Mary Poppins could be good. Like, it could be a movie I come back and say, guys, this is fantastic, go see it. But the trailers have just not been very good. And Lion King, it's just like, I'm not gonna say I'm gonna boycott it, but I might not even go see it for free. Because I just don't want anything to indicate to Disney, oh, people still want to see these. Because after Beauty and the Beast live action, I was just like, oh my God, please stop. God, that movie was god-awful. All right, anyway. Let's see what we got. Oh my goodness. Isaiah says, have you seen Minority Report? Yes, Minority Report is a fantastic movie. One of Tom Cruise's best films, I will say. And also very interesting commentary, I would say, on police. On criminal justice. I'm sure Tina might have some thoughts on that because she has a background in that. But yeah, Minority Report's awesome. I think it was great sci-fi film. Hyman says, I just saw a roundtable with King T'Challa, King Aragon, Logan, and Paul Atreides. My nerdgasm was too high with Mahershala. I'm screwing up his name. It's because it's not spelled right here. If it was spelled correctly, I could probably pronounce it correctly. But because it's not, I'm going to butcher his name because I can't remember off the top of my head. But that's a really good roundtable. Those are all fantastic actors. Fixed camera? What's wrong with my camera? Elric says, so Kevin Hart is booed for past gay jokes, but they want James Gunn back because his past tweets was the past and should keep his job. Hypocrisy. No, Elric, you're exactly right. It's total hypocrisy. It's absolutely total hypocrisy. And again, only when it suits them and only when it suits their narrative. Because for them, once again, it's all about that chart. Who has the most victimhood? Because there are certain groups. So basically, if you are a black gay man, you are this much higher. But guess what? If you're a black gay woman, oh, you're more of a victim. You fit more of those identity boxes. Because that's what identity politics is all about, is you are defined by these small boxes, which are a small part of who you are. And they're trying to say that's all that you are. You are only your gender and your race and all these other, small categories, instead of those are just pieces and parts of the entire person that you are. And that's the reason why identity politics is so destructive and why we attack it on a constant basis, because now it's being put into our movies, and movies represent culture. And if that is going to be the future of movies, that therefore might be the future, and we've seen it happen, is going to be the future of the culture. And that's why we're going to try to stamp it out, or at least delay it for as long as we can, because once that happens, it's like, well, now I can't go see movies anymore. And that I don't ever want that day to happen, because I love movies. I love going to see new movies. I love going on a Thursday night to go see a premiere of a film. I love, the popcorn and the audience and everything like that. And I don't want that experience to ever go away. And it's really sad that they are slowly making it even more difficult for that indeed to happen. In Disguise says, seeing the new Captain Marvel trailer made me feel meh. Yeah, that's how I was like, meh. I mean, it was fine, and then the end happened. It was really bad CGI, and then the hero, and she has no emotion still, which makes me so mad because she is a good actress. There's some people out there who are saying, oh, she's a terrible actress. No, she is a good actress. I will stand by and defend her acting because I've seen her in work. If you want to see a great example of that, I'm not even going to send you to Room. There's a great independent film called Short Turn 12. And it really touched me personally because it deals specifically with mental health. And that's something that has really touched my family very closely. So that movie to me not only handles mental health extremely well, but on top of that, she gives, that was the performance that got her noticed by a lot of studios, and what got her potentially one of the movies that got her the role in Room that she eventually won the Oscar for. So for me, I don't like when people attack her acting, because her acting is great. And that's why I said this in my last video when talking about Captain Marvel. I honestly think it's not just her, because obviously she has control over her performance. It's the director. I mean, the director is the one seeing it. And the director can say, this is not the vision of what Captain Marvel should be. This is not what the character should be. But this director is obviously saying, no, that's great. That's exactly what we want. And so the director is wanting a totally bland, emotionless void of a character, and it's going to end up biting them in the ass, because at the end of the day, people don't want to see that. People do not want to watch that on the big screen. I don't know what's wrong with the camera, Alan. What's wrong with the camera? I don't know what's wrong with the camera. You can't just say fixed camera. You got to say what the problem is, man. JKD says, topic suggestion: will NPCs demand that the Mandalorian be renamed the Perksnalorian? What? I don't know what that's supposed to say, so I'm going to pass on that one, but I'm sure that they would. We'll see. Greta says, yeah, Filmstruck is gone, but they gave me 5 digital films for free, so they are awesome. What? That's awesome. Greta, let me know which films you got, because that's really cool. That's awesome. Pete, 1972, what's going on, bruv? How's it going? How's it going, bruv? Peter Parker, are you still going to boycott episode 9? If so, what would it take to change your mind? Nothing at this point, just because they're not going to change. When you're a big studio like this and you have gone on this path for as long as they have, they're not going to change before episode 9. If there's any changes that happen, it's going to be post Skywalker Saga, post episode 9. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. But again, with me, it's only really a half boycott, because I'm still going to see it. I'm just not going to pay to see it. I'm going to buy a ticket to another movie, give that money in that studio my movie, and then go see episode 9 instead. So that is currently my plan. So it's not really even a full-on boycott. And I support anyone. If you want to see it, hey, you're obviously seeing something that most people aren't seeing. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to attack somebody for wanting to see a movie. That's just not where I'm going to stand on that. I'm not going to draw a line in the sand and say, you're a terrible person. Mex says, have you gotten any further than Last Command? No, of course not. Of course not. What do you think, Mex? Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Oh, my God. This comment section's crazy. Oh my goodness. I am so far behind, guys. I'm so far behind. I'm so far behind already. Will Gentry says, don't want to make you jealous, but it is Friday here. Damn you, Will. Damn you, Will. I am jealous. Stephanie B, of course you can have cookies. Of course you can. JKD, what do you think about the Nick Nolte being cast in Mandalorian? I think it's great. After the thing that sold me on Nick Nolte, or at least 2018 Nick Nolte, or late teens, 20 teens Nick Nolte, was Warrior. If you've never seen Warrior, it's him and Tom Hardy. It's excellent. And he plays a tremendously powerful father figure. And yes, his voice is hard to understand at times, but he gives this raw and emotional performance. So I think that could bring a very serious level and a very serious tone to The Mandalorian, which I think they're going to want to try and do. I think that seems to be the direction. It doesn't seem like they're going full-on comedy with it. So it seems like they're going to want a dramatic tone to it. So I think that's a good choice. And as I said before, I think that the choice that they have at this point, and the rumor is that the man, what's his name? Pascal, I think is his name. He's the guy that was the Viper in Game of Thrones. If they have him pegged to be the actual Mandalorian, I think that's going to be perfect casting. He has the charisma for it. He has the talent for it. And I think he's going to be great. But at the end of the day, we have to wait and see what happens with that. But no, I think that Nick Nolte is a great casting choice, to be honest. Shinville, what's going on, bruv? If you would like some Brazilian movies, you could try seeing City of God and Elite Squad. I've heard of City of God. City of God's like on the top 10, IMDb top 10 list, and it's been on the top 10 list forever. So it's definitely been on my radar for a long time. But thank you for the shout. I might definitely have to check that out. Mech says, the cake is a lie. There are only cookies. Through cookies, I gain weight. Through weight, I gain obesity. Through obesity, my chair is broken. Calories will set me free. Mex, I always love when you break all of that down. It just makes me happy. Outpost Dyer, what's up, bruv? Peabody says that's why they should have got Hugh Jackman to host. Hugh Jackman is a great host, Peabody. I love when Hugh Jackman hosts. He is fantastic. But unfortunately, the problem, and here's the thing, the Academy thinks that the reason why viewership has fallen is because they haven't gotten the right host or because certain movies haven't been nominated. That's crap. That is a total crap excuse. The reason why people don't watch anymore is because, one, nowadays, regular people do not want to see a bunch of rich, overpaid snobs sniffing their own asses for 3 to 4 hours. No one wants to see that. And on top of that, when they do decide to tune in, they're immediately met with political nonsense. And people don't watch movies to be preached to. They watch them to escape. People for a long time watched award shows not because they wanted to be preached to by the rich Hollywood elites, but because they wanted to escape. Because able to see how the other half lives was a way for them to escape. And nowadays, though, there's such a anger and frustration towards these elites because these elites are acting like they're so high and mighty and that they have all the right answers when obviously most of them are just idiots. Pagan God, whamming. Yes. Greta sees, what's the point in making a shot-for-shot remake of beloved movies? Exactly, Greta. Exactly right. There's no point. Why are you wasting your time remaking classic movies? It would be like if they said, we're going to remake Casablanca. No, you will not. It's a one-at-a-time film. You don't need to remake it. If you remake it, it's going to suck because you're going to SJW it up. It's just like what they did with 12 Angry Men. 12 Angry Men is one of the greatest films of all time. Again, top 10 IMDb 250 list. Most people see it as one of the greatest films ever made. And yet they remade it. Not only have they remade it, but also they've redone the play. They've remounted the play into 12 Angry People and also 12 Angry Women. I kid you not. And that's all I'm going to say about that. That's all I have to say about that. Mech says, it's not just that Disney is wasting time remaking their classic films. They're going back and trying to correct them against most pointless criticisms. I agree. They're wasting, and that, even more so, they are literally wasting their time in the most serious way possible. Secret Rebel, the future is robots. We are all screwed. It's definitely true. Definitely true. Daybob says, being PC must be so exhausting. I know, seriously. It just sounds like, why would I waste my time when you can't please everybody? And if you try to please everybody, guess what? You're gonna fail epically. Proper Jeremy, what's up, Proper Jeremy? How's it going, bruv? Now that I'm here, the party can now begin. Well, it's because you're so very proper. Tina says, saw a YouTube video today where the host suggested the movies they should be rebooting, such as Black Cauldron, Treasure Island. Oh, that they should be, no, Black Cauldron, that is something that could be remade. Treasure Island, again, film that could be remade, because there's certain films that, because of advances in technology, might look better. Like when they remade Tron, I was thinking to myself, you know what, that's actually a film that could be remade, because the technology at the time, you know, you look back at it now, you're like, for the time it's pretty revolutionary, but at the same time, you know, the story was great. That's the reason why people still enjoy it. But the new Tron just dropped the ball because the story and acting and everything else about it sucked, which is really unfortunate because the effects actually looked pretty cool for what it was. Greta says, I think Mary Poppins will be good, but I don't know about Emily Blunt. We'll be seeing it on Christmas. Yeah, Greta, definitely. I'm planning on seeing it over the holidays as well. So we'll see what happens, but, well, you know, well, who knows? Who knows? Delete System 32, what's up, bruv? The future is female. Sounds like something a Nazi would say. Well, there's a lot of qualities that they would share in common with each other. Mex says, I'm planning to check out Bumblebee because I want to see what a Transformers movie without the myriads upon myriads of Michael Bay explosions looks like. Mex, I think that's a great comment, and I think that's a great point. I'm the same way. Because, again, they're using CGI. You can't get away with it. You mean making Transformers. It'd be cool if they could somehow make a practical Transformer. That'd be awesome. But I'm realistic. And for the CGI that I've seen in the trailer is impressive. And the fact that they are able to seamlessly have this thing, this robot, this Transformer, exist in the real world as well, and it's able to coincide with it. You know, it's able to coincide with real world surroundings very, very well. Has me very much excited for it. So I'm definitely pumped for it for sure. Eric says, I've had an idea for a video about Disney. We'll make the video tomorrow on it. Sounds good, Eric. Max says, Cruz's eyes in Minority Report were creepy. That's a very specific criticism. Donald says, I hope I'm not the only one who's getting tired of live-action remakes of great animated movies. Creativity is dead. I agree. Nope, I'm right there with you, Donald Hudson. I'm so tired of it as well because, once again, I go back to Beauty and the Beast, and Beauty and the Beast live-action sucked. And to any Disney fanboys and fangirls out there, all I have to say is, truth hurts. The movie sucked. Emma Watson was not good. Consider your dreams crushed. Anyway, Greta says, Mahershala Ali. There we go. Mahershala Ali. Again, thank you, Greta. I appreciate it. Dave Bob says, your camera is fine. Dion says, camera fine on my end. Perfect, Mex. Your camera's still showing Aussie Rose Tico. It's broken. If that's the reason why they're saying fix the camera, then I understand. But no, Rose will be seen. Rose and her lover, Kylo Ren, must be seen. Roselo. Hashtag Roselo. Get it trending, guys. Let's see. Hybrid says, I heard great things about Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse along with Aquaman. Hopefully some great signs for December. Yeah, I do too. I hope that as well, Hybrid. I want to love Aquaman. I really want to come out of that movie liking it. I hate the trailers. I think the trailers just look blah. It's a CGI noise. It's a CGI fest, and it just doesn't look good. There's people say, "Oh, what are you talking about? It looks great." No, I'm sorry. They rely on the CGI way too much, and the CGI that they do rely on just does not look good. If it was all CGI, if it was all animated, it would look fantastic. But because they're trying to interact the real world with an animated world, it has to look flawless or damn near close to it, and it's not even close. It's not even close. And I know I've been getting a lot of hate, and everybody's like, "Oh, you're just a Marvel fanboy." No. You're listening to a guy that just criticized Captain Marvel for having really bad CGI at the very end of that movie. But yeah, I'm actually Into the Spider-Verse. Lethal Lightning, who I don't know if he's still listening or not. I know he's at work right now. But he loved it. He thought it was fantastic. And I've heard a lot of great things about it. I'm still very hesitant because this is the same group that's saying, we're going to make an all-female Spider-Man movie. And I'm like, why do you have to say it that way? Like, why can't you just make a movie? Why does it have to be an all-female? Like, this identity politics stuff is just really getting to me. And so I'm kind of worried that that stuff might be in the movie. I don't know. I mean, I really honestly don't know. I'm planning on seeing it, though, because, and also the animation, too, bothers me. And some people are saying, oh, it's brilliant and it's breathtaking and it's new and it's fresh. But for me, I'm like, no, my ADD is like, no, my eyes cannot. My eyes just cannot handle the CGI that they're doing for the film. So there's a lot of reasons why I might not like it, but I'm definitely still planning on seeing it with an open mind and as open a mind as possible. Let us see here. Tina says, oh, Minority Report. That creeped me out because there was no real justice. We'd all be under arrest, jailed because we all had thoughts that could be considered dangerous. That's a very true statement. And also, too, it really does kind of get into the possibility of people trying to stop future crimes by arresting people for not actual crimes, but for the potential to be criminals. And that's actually a future that's not too far off with some of the ideas that are being thrown around by certain people in Washington, actually. The fact that they're trying to criminalize thought, criminalize speech, There are people that want to criminalize religious beliefs. For example, for me saying that I'm a Christian, for me saying that I am a Catholic, and having moral beliefs that I do from the Catholic faith, that there are people out there that think that I am a bigot, that I am a hateful person. And you need to understand that when you say that about somebody, and you say that my moral precepts are hate speech, and then you say that you want to not only condemn hate speech, but also criminalize hate speech, that's a dangerous world to live in. So we're, maybe not in the exact way. We're not going to get to the point where people are predicting the future, but we are getting to the point where crime, as you said, where there really is no jury, where there is no real justice, I think is very, very soon upon us. Let's see. Patrick McDuff says, have you heard that Harvard is banning fraternities and boys clubs, but will keep girls clubs and sororities, and they say boys must let women into their clubs? That's stupid. That's stupid. And this is coming from a guy I hate Greek life. I think Greek life is stupid. I think that paying for friends is ridiculous. And it always makes my wife Freya gets very upset when I say that, because she was a part of one. And she had hers was very different though. It was like an honors sorority. So it was one that was actually focused on education and focused on service and all these other things. And I know that a lot of sororities and fraternities do those kinds of things, but to me, it's an excuse to party it up through college and to pay for friends. That's how I view it as. And if you were part of a sorority fraternity and are offended by that, again, I'm just speaking my mind. I'm just speaking how I feel. So this is someone coming from that perspective saying that is stupid. You can't just punish one and let the other exist. If you want to banish both, hey, I'm totally fine with that. I am totally fine with that. And, at the end of the day, it's probably going to affect your numbers. It's probably going to affect your tuition and your your numbers, your enrollment numbers going in. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's a terrible thing to get rid of those kinds of organizations. But to put one over the other, that's ridiculous. That's blatant sexism right there. Oh, you can't say that. You can't say that. It doesn't work that way. It actually does. If you're judging someone based on their sex, guess what that is? Sexism. All right. Dave Bob says, it's already gone. Oh, is it? Is it? Excuse me. Jacob says, what movie, Odin? I don't know, because it was like 10, 15 minutes ago. Dave Bomb says, if Brie dismisses a whole race, gender, and age, she is clueless. I agree. Oh, so I think you were talking about the one that she was in. Short Term 12 was the name of the movie. Fantastic movie. Oh, no. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. I'm about to skip ahead in the chat. I think I'm catching up slowly but surely. Hyman says, I'm so freaking mad that they decided to replace an important character like Adam Warlock instead of with Captain Marvel. Avengers 4 would be so much more exciting with him. I agree. And from anyone that's read the comics, they tell me the same thing, saying that, yeah, Captain Marvel comics suck, and they're going down the drain and have been going down the drain for a very long time because she's just so OP and it's just not believable and it's filled with identity politics nonsense. But from what I've heard, Adam Warlock is, like, awesome. Like, it's written very well and makes the most sense. And it would be cool because they've hinted at Adam Warlock, so maybe he does appear in Avengers 4. If both them work together to end or to take care of Thanos, that might be cool to see. But, knowing Disney at this point, probably not. Max says, the problem is the character itself. Marvel has never been able to figure out what they want to do with Captain Marvel and have rebooted him / her at least a dozen times. That's what I've heard, Max. Yeah, people read the comics saying that they've rebooted her constantly, and sometimes it's been a woman, sometimes it's been a woman and a man, sometimes it's been a man, and they just can't make up their minds. Greta, thank you so much, saying, Filmstruck gave me Robin Hood, King Kong, Singing in the Rain, A Star is Born, and Casablanca. That is a fantastic list right there. That is absolutely fantastic. Proper, Jeremy says, you added a TV in the room, you get 2 proper points. The TV's been there, man. The TV's been there for a while. Like, it's just maybe it's been off and you haven't seen it, but it's been there. JKD says, person contains the word son per son. You can't say person. You can't say person. It has son, and that's hateful language. What if the son thinks he's a daughter? Oh, my gosh. Meg says, Lucasfilm is just going to double down and stick their heads in the sand. They'll never admit that they screwed up the franchise. Nope, they never will, because they're Lucasfilm. Secret Rebel says, the future is robots. We are all screwed. Maybe. Tina says, yay, Odin is behind on our forum. It's like the good old days. It is. We haven't had one of these days in a long time. So I know it's fun for you guys because you're like, he hasn't caught up yet. And I'm just like, oh, I haven't caught up yet. I just want to be in the live chat and see what's going on. SemperTube says, I was watching The Fugitive because I can't find Jurassic Park, but then Odin came online, so I'm doing this. Well, hey, welcome. Glad that you made that right decision. Pagan says, All Father needs more cardio. Are you trying to say I'm fat? I know I need more cardio. I'm going to try and keep up with it. Delete says, apparently NYC politicians plan on making people give them their social media and email passwords plus a copy of their internet search history to buy a gun starting next year. Again, I'm all for common sense gun reform. And for anyone that's like, no restrict, we need some laws. Like, let's just be honest. We do need some laws. But to say that you need to submit all of those things is ridiculous. And that's when the state is taking way too much power in it. Those two ball guys are here. What's up, those two ball guys? Welcome back to the channel. Guys, should go check them out. They made it was a very touching video. They did a video tribute to me, thanking the people that have inspired them and also ones that have, worked with them, helping out and promoting and things like that. So thank you so much, those two ball guys, and please go check out their channel. They are Patreon members, and also there's a really great channel. They don't just put out content for the sake of putting out content. They take time to put their stuff together, and I really do appreciate that. So yeah, those two ball guys, I would love to have you guys on a stream in the future, and so yeah, keep in contact with me, guys. Let's see. Donald Hudson says we haven't outrun Odin in a long time. It's been a very long time. CWD says Nick Nolte equals Santa Fe. He brings life, day, and death to all. Dion says, yep, you are right. I'm sure I was. Isaiah says, would you miss me if I left? Of course. Of course. Greta says, I've watched award shows for years because I love honoring movies that deserve it. That's rare nowadays. I agree, Greta. I agree. There was actually a time when the Oscars were great because there was one year, I remember, I forgot what year, you probably remember, when it was literally all about honoring film, and it was awesome because they had every transition had clips from old movies, clips from old shows, and it was just really cool to see how movies were treated and how movies were just a huge part of the cultural moment. And nowadays, it's just like, there's so much trash and garbage out there. And I'm not even just talking about politics and political stuff. I'm talking about just trash movies that are just thrown together. You especially see this in the horror film market. They put out horror films every single year. There's always a horror film that comes out in October, and it's always bad. It's always that like lowest common denominator, just the jump scare, and it's not smart. It's not well done. It's not well acted, not well written, and it's just crap. And again, it's because nowadays audiences will just go and support this stuff. It's ridiculous. Let's see. Donald Hudson says, imagine Tom Hardy as Ashley Williams in Evil Dead. This is my boom fist because Hardy don't need no gun. Dude, Tom Hardy's awesome. I love Tom Hardy. Tina says, they kind of remade Casablanca and it kind of sucked. It was a short-lived TV series with Dave Soul as Rick. Like I said, very short-lived. Yes, so short-lived, I've never heard about it. And I couldn't imagine why it would possibly have failed. Isaiah says, have you seen Treasure Planet, the Disney movie? It didn't do well, but has a great story. I have not, but I've heard great things about it. In fact, someone sent me a video. This was a long time ago. Someone sent me a video where it goes into Treasure Planet and why it's such a great film, and it made me want to watch it. So I definitely, that's a movie that I would love to be able to watch at some point. And I've heard the same things, though. I've heard that it has a great story. And it's just like that film that got lost in translation because of everything else coming out at the time. Dark Paladin Gaming, what's up, bruv? The Game Awards night, how come I think it's woke NPC joke? I know, seriously, it's just, it's so bad. Jenkins says, watch the remake Your World video. What's that? What's that? Send me a tweet at me or something. Greta says, did you hear they're making a female reboot of 21 Jump Street starring Tiffany? They're making a reboot of a reboot. 21 Jump Street, which was based off of the TV series 21 Jump Street, is now being remade with an all-female cast. That couldn't possibly go wrong, Ghostbusters 2016. That couldn't possibly go wrong, Ocean's 8. That couldn't possibly go wrong. Make original stories. You can make a great movie with her. She's funny sometimes. Like, she's talented. I'm not going to deny that. She's talented, and she can be funny given the right circumstances. But, oh my God, it's just so ridiculous. I'm going to give a pause. William Jenkins, thank you so much for the $15 super chat. I appreciate it. All Father Odin, I think today's day and age has seen a proliferation of stupidity, and Hollywood is not improving that. Nolte in The Mandalorian is the best news I've heard from Star Wars in a while. I agree, because it's like an old school guy. It's not one of these current new age people. It's not one of these older aging hipsters that are, you know, putting out their nonsense like Meryl Streep or anything like that. It's trigger warning. It's a man. It's a real man that they've chosen for this role, and I think he's going to be great. I honestly have so many high hopes for his character, and I really hope they allow him to shine because he has so much heart that he can put onto into any performance. Again, go watch Warrior. If you've never seen it, guys, it's so good. If you like Tom Hardy, you will love it. It's so good. And Nick Nolte gives probably the performance of his career. I was so upset when Nick Nolte and the entire film Warrior didn't get love during award season. Again, it's one of the many reasons why I hate award shows sometimes, because they really do just ignore some of the better movies that come out. But no, I absolutely agree with you, man, and thank you so much for the super chat, man. I really do appreciate it, and I agree. I think that it's just, oh my God, Hollywood is making things so much worse, and it's so ridiculous. Voorhees67, what's up, dude? Thank you for the $5 super chat. The horror films are bad because they're either all ghost movies, which usually suck, boring zombie movies, or they're like Halloween 2018. All right, fair is fair. 2018 was not terrible. I actually liked I liked Hollywood 2018. It's not as good as the original, but I did enjoy it because there was a lot of nostalgic moments in it, and I overall enjoyed it. So I wouldn't put that on the same list as a oh God, insert random horror film that came out this year. I don't go see them. You know, one, because I don't like horror films normally, and second, because you know, they were bad, got bad reviews from everybody. So but yeah, thank you all so much for the super chats. Appreciate it. Here we go, Steph. You are trying to start trouble. No, I'm not, Steph. I'm not trying to start. Why would I ever start trouble? Why would I ever start trouble, Steph? Would I do that? Outpost Dyer, thanks, man. He says, hey, Odin, creativity isn't dead. It's just dead in Hollywood. There are awesome indie authors out there with great stories. No, Outpost Dyer, I totally agree with you. And that's like, when I say Hollywood, I literally mean like mainstream Hollywood. There are some great independent films that come out every single year, and there's probably so many more that I don't get a chance to see. And so I know that to be true, and I always try and go to see independent films when I can, because there's probably the best stories being told right now are in these storylines. But unfortunately, you've seen studios now buy independent production companies, and so now you see these independent films that have that indie feel, but also have the same Hollywood elitism thrown into it. And those are the films that are now getting a lot of the Oscar nominations. It's almost like it's the new Oscar bait. Oscar bait used to be like historical dramas, and it's shifted over time. But nowadays, what is Oscar bait? Look to Moonlight. It's these independent films that are picked up and produced by these incredibly large companies. And identity politics is just thrown all over the place. But no, I totally agree with you there, Outpost. I totally agree. Hybrid says, I love that part in Bohemian Rhapsody where Freddie gets mad about interviews about judging his sexuality and his personal BS. Pretty much sums up some of the reality of what all the SJW nonsense. Exactly. He's like, dude, why do you care? It does not matter what my orientation is, which I feel like is a powerful statement, because again, it does not define who you are. If you allow one part of yourself to define who you are, that's a sad existence. Dave Bob, thank you so much for the $2 donation. Gun control is just left speak for disarming. It's a very slippery slope. I know, Dave Bob, I totally agree with you. And that's why I'm always very careful when talking about that, because there's a difference between gun control and good common sense legislation to make sure that, one, everyone's Second Amendment right is protected, but also, two, that people who probably shouldn't have access to a gun are at least given those checkpoints to say, oh, you have a history of violence. You know, if you are better, maybe there's more hoops that you have to go through. But those are the kinds of things that I would be in support of. And obviously, again, I know there's a slippery slope there, which is why we always want to be very careful with that. And that's why the language of the bill would have to be very carefully crafted. But no, I definitely agree with you there, man. But I do think there has to be some common sense measures that both sides can agree on. And unfortunately, both sides are just not coming to the table. And it has to do with alarmism on the left. And when I say conservatism, I don't mean like conservative thought. I mean like we don't want to change at all on the right. And I don't think either side is helpful. Now, they're both reactionary in a lot of ways, especially the right's reaction. But no, I totally agree with you there. Let's see. Tina says, Odin, the morning will come when the world is mine. Tomorrow belongs to me. I don't know that song. Greta says, speaking of Celine Dion, why wasn't Out of Ashes nominated for Best Song? What was Out of Ashes in again? But also keep in mind, the only thing that's gotten nominations so far is the Golden Globes. And we've all know that Golden Globes is a show where the points really don't matter. So maybe says, you are so behind the chat. It's like the Golden Knights. I know, it is. It's so great. for you guys. Will Gentry says, it could be worse. Some fool in the EU Parliament wants to make criticizing immigration illegal. Plus, we are getting people arrested for hateful speech left, right, center here. My country is a joke. Now, Will Gentry, I do know that. So, yeah, if you are in Canada or the EU, especially the UK, you can be fined and arrested for hate speech. And their definition of hate speech is very broad. So I could say that men are men, women are women. There are only two genders. Change my mind, and I could be fined for that because it's hate speech. So that's problematic for sure. So yeah, I feel bad for the countries that already have that kind of stuff going on, but America is kind of starting to go in that direction. And thank God we currently have enough of a balance to kind of stop that going, full stop ahead. The chat just jumped on me again. Let's see if I can catch up. What? Oh my God, I'm so far behind. Oh my God. Isaiah, have you seen Lucky Number 11? It's a good movie if you like a mystery movie. I did. I wasn't a fan of it. I don't remember it, so maybe if I saw it again, I might like it, but I wasn't. I left not impressed. Frank the Tank, the John Henry Dog Clan, what's up, bruv? Rip Romeo the Cat, you will be missed. Oh, no. That's sad. I'm sorry. Rest in peace, Romeo. Hyper says, this sounds like a stupid idea, but there should be this movie about a movie critic being friends with an anarchist villain filmmaker and tries to stop him. Does that sound original? I'd go see it, James, as long as I can be the film critic. James Harold says, what movie are we watching tonight? We're not watching any movie tonight, man. So our movie night's going to be Saturday, and we are watching our first Christmas movie of the season, Die Hard. And according to my poll on Twitter, which still has a few days left, Die Hard is indeed a Christmas movie. 87% last time I checked. And Twitter doesn't lie, so yeah, take that. Don Hudson says, I got a fever that can only be cured by more like button. I agree. Smash that like button, please. It is for free, and it helps me out. Isaiah says, have you seen the 55-second Game of Thrones teaser? What do you think? I have not seen it yet. Is that, wait, if you're talking about the one that sums up the previous season, like no new footage, then yes, I have seen that one. But if you're talking about like new footage, no, I have not seen that. Dave Bob says, Captain Marvel has to be the one who defeats Thanos because she is the bestest ever because she's a woman. Exactly. Proper Jeremy says, you can't say the word people or person as it offends otherkin, which are those who do not identify as human. Yes. Yes, let's talk about how orcs are racist. Oh yeah, the orcs. The orcs were mistreated, and because they were a different race, and so it's obviously a sign of racism. Oh, shut up. Alexander, are you a conservative? That's something that I can't quite talk about, like specifically. All I can tell you is I'm an independent thinker, and you can tell from what I say what my philosophy is. I like to say that more over a political philosophy or a political party, I'm a Catholic. Like, full stop. I am a proud Catholic. I love my faith, and so my voting and my political philosophy really falls in line with my belief and with my faith. The whole separation of church and state's nonsense is just that nonsense. So mine coincide together a lot of the time. So I don't like putting, like, so even though I'm not going to address it directly, I also in general don't like putting labels on it. That's why I label myself as an independent, because that's what I am. I'm registered independent. I'm an independent thinker. So for me, if someone is a good person and that person to me is a moral person that's going to vote morally, that's what I look for. Whatever lines up best with my faith is what I look for in a person. Greta says probably around 2008 where the Oscar ceremonies were really good. Greta, I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right on that. I think that's when that happened. Daniel Sandoval, welcome to the channel. Last good horror movie I saw was It. Great movie. I heard awesome things about it. In fact, I don't want to see it because I hate scary movies because they scare me. I'm a baby when it comes to those kinds of movies. But of all of them, I was very close. If I wasn't on a budget this Black Friday, it went on sale for like $4. I almost bought it. But I was on a budget and there were a couple other things that I had my eye on, so I didn't get it. But in the future, if I'm not on a budget and it comes on sale again, I might buy it and I might finally watch it. But the trailer for that movie looked horrifying, and I heard nothing but great things about it, so I agree. 70B, thank you so much for shouting out the t-shirt. Yes, guys, I have merch. I have merch now. So go check out the link. It's in the description for this video, but also 70B just posted the link for it as well. And yeah, you just have my beautiful face. Yeah. William Jenkins and Voorhees, thank you again so much for the super chats. Tina says, and they voted for Jingle All the Way for the 15th. I've never seen it. Odin is very excited for me to see it. Yes, so this weekend, Saturday, we are watching the best Christmas movie ever. To some people, it's a Christmas movie. I'll acknowledge that much. Not my favorite Christmas movie, but it's a Christmas movie. Die Hard, the original Die Hard, of course. And then next Saturday, so not this Saturday, but next Saturday, we'll be watching Jingle All the Way. And I'm so excited for that because, I love the movie and haven't seen the whole movie in a very long time. Jamie! But also, Tina's never seen it either, and she loves Arnold, but, like, she loves action Arnold. So this is a very different side of Arnold, and I can't wait for her to see it. I'm so excited. Puerto Rican Jeremy. Hey, Papa, you think the California drought could be solved by giving Kevin Smith behind-the-scenes passes to movie? Yes, I think actually, no, because tears have salt in them. So, yes, it could possibly cure the drought, but it would kill the land in the process. So, it's kind of like a double-edged sword there. Edward Coleman, what's up, bro? I love when fans of Last Jedi tell me I was never a real fan. A man who has a Star Wars themed wedding and would spend upwards of $1,500 a year on Star Wars merchandise. Yeah, I love that as well. I love when people try and say, you're not a real fan. You don't understand. You're not a real fan. Edward Coleman, we know. We're the only ones that matter here. We know that you're a real fan. William Jenkins, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you again for another donation. What sci-fi franchise do you think J.J. Abrams will destroy next? Stargate, Battlestar, God forbid, Doctor Who? No one likes. I love Doctor Who until it started to really go off the rails. And that's even before the current Doctor. It was starting to go off the rails even before that. At this point, I might try and finish the Peter Capaldi series just to finish that storyline. But after that, I'm done. I'm just done with it. They care more about identity politics than anything else at this point. That's a good question, though, because JJ will definitely probably take on one of those stories. I don't know what I said there. Probably Battlestar Galactica, because I feel like out of the ones you mentioned, Battlestar Galactica is the biggest. Like, from what I've heard from sci-fi friends that I have, Battlestar Galactica is bigger in their mind than Stargate. So that wouldn't be a surprise if they try to adapt that into a film, that he would possibly be attached to it, personally. So, yeah, but who knows? Maybe he could do justice to Doctor Who. I don't know. I honestly don't know at this point. All right, got to Edward Coleman. Will Gentry, did you do a video on the BFI not funding films who have a villain with a scarred face? If not, what's your initial reaction to that idea? Because it's woke nonsense, and I hate it. So I heard about that. I didn't know it was the BFI. And I didn't know that was what they had done, but I think that's ridiculous. I really do think that that's just absolutely ridiculous. And I firmly believe that when it comes to those kind of decisions, that they are rushed through and that they honestly don't really think it through as to what they're actually doing and what it actually means for the future of films. Because that would mean, for example, that we have a movie coming out soon. And obviously, I think also, too, the wording bothers me as well. So you're saying that you could have a good guy that has a scar on his face? Like, is that a thing? Because obviously you look to Harry Potter. So could Harry Potter be made today? He's a good guy, but is it only villains? Is it because you don't want a scar to be associated with a villain? It's like, that's not what we think about when, again, as you said, you're right. It's woke NPC nonsense and it's stupid. So yeah, that's my feeling about that. Now, again, I don't think making fun of somebody is a good thing. So I don't think that should be allowed. But if a part of a person's character and past means that they have scars, I don't see what the problem is with that. It's stupid. Stupid. They're going after the wrong thing. Alton Foster says, Democrats and common sense is a contradiction. Modern day Democrats, for the most part, in general, because I do know some like old school Democrats who are good people and who honestly care. And we do have obviously very big disagreements because I'm a Catholic, as I said before, so I definitely have certain positions that they don't hold to. But that's why I wouldn't throw all of them into the same boat. Tina says it's from Cabaret. I don't know Cabaret. That's the reason why I don't know Cabaret. Oh, I'm so far behind. Oh my God. I didn't know Cabaret, Tina. You're right. You're right. What's going on? What's up, Patrick? Greta says, Out of the Ashes was in Deadpool 2. Oh, that's right. Yes, okay. Thank you, Greta. Thank you. Yes. Oh, my God. Out of all the songs that get nominated, yep, we can't nominate that one because it's in a comedy. It's in a rated R comedy. We can't do that. It's Celine Dion. It's hilarious. It's so great. Daybob says, the faster I go, the behinder I get. Tina says, thank you. 70 Boat Knows Cabaret, of course. Of course she does, because she's amazing. P-Bye says, Steph has one vid that goes for 11 seconds and has 172 subs. That's priceless. I know. Well, keep in mind, she had subs before she had any videos, because that's how much she is loved by this community. Alan says, one thing I think about gun laws is the Nicholas Cruz shouldn't have been able to buy an AR-15 with autism and depression. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I don't really, because I do my best to avoid news sources that mention a shooter's name, because I think that by essentially glorifying them, people might say, how is it glorifying them? Well, their name is being mentioned out loud, and you are blasting their face and their name for a 24/7, a 24-hour cycle, essentially, in most news stations, sometimes even more, sometimes even longer. And it's been proven, it's been shown that that kind of treatment leads to copycats, because people say, oh, that's how I can make my mark. That's how I can be remembered, because there are people who are so down, who are so low, that they're willing to do anything to try and pick themselves up and to try and, again, make that mark. And so I don't know who that was. I don't know what event that was attached to, and I don't really care and don't want to know, only because I don't want to know that person's name. I don't want to know that person's name, because that, to me, is going to give them more power. It's going to provide more power to people that want to be like them in the future, and I don't want to have any part of that. So I'm just going to say, let's avoid that topic altogether. If you're going to be mentioning names specifically, I'm not even going to address those, because I don't even want to say the names anymore. Greta says, we'll miss this Saturday, but we'll make next Saturday's movie. What is it? Jingle All the Way. So you'll be back for a really good one, Greta. Sembertube says, sub to Steph when Odin commanded it. Damn right, Sembertube. I command that you all sub to Steph right now. Let's see. Can we get Steph to 200 subs? If you are not subbed to Steph yet, give her a sub. She has one video that's 11 seconds long. So if you're worried about your YouTube queue getting blocked up by videos, don't worry about it, because she only has one video. Oh, man. But seriously, sub to her channel. She's great. Isaiah says, nah, dog. A new teaser dropped right after school. I haven't seen it, Isaiah, so please, no spoilers. Furry Jeremy. There's a furry Jeremy now? What? How many Jeremys are there? Oh, long time no see, he says. Well, long time. I've never seen you in the chat before, so welcome. Laura, thank you so much. Laura, it's a short story. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Happy to hear Common Sense Crew was only mostly dead. Me too. You have to understand, like, when I heard the news, because Jeremy obviously talked to me about it and told me that he wanted to put it on hiatus for a bit. And I was crushed by it, to be honest, because I was having so much fun. So I would love to try and, maybe not have the official Common Sense Crew, but I would love to do a weekly show with Anna and Ivan if they were up for it. I think that would be a lot of fun, because I had a lot of fun with them in general. I know that me and Ivan are going to try and we haven't talked about it since, but I know that he wants to show me, like, maybe once a month. He wants to go through a few episodes of the Avatar Last Airbender series, because I've never seen it before, and he would love to see my reaction and talk to me about it. So that's something that might come down the pike as well. And also, Jeremy does owe me a live stream, so Jeremy will be featured on this channel very soon. We haven't worked out the date yet, but it will happen, and I'm very, very excited for that. Yeah, there's no Common Sense Crew because it's been put on hiatus for a bit, but you are welcome here. Hybrid says, that article about an SJW being offended off racism depiction of orcs is freaking stupid. This is why I think The Lord of the Rings wasn't made today. No, seriously, because today that article would have come out, and then the entire series would have been canceled because people are absolute idiots. Puerto Rican Jeremy says, read my chat joke. I'm feeling great now. Okay. Oh, read my chat joke. I'm feeling great now. Well, I'm glad that you are. How about Star says, the first Peter Capaldi series was great. Then they changed his character and it turned to absolute crap. Yeah, I know. I agree. I think that's definitely a good take on it, because when they first brought him to Doctor, a lot of people didn't like it because he was different, but I liked it because it was unique, and I like unique characters. That's the reason why I'm actually not the biggest David Tennant Doctor Who fan, as far as him being the best, because to me, he was just taking what Eccleston had established and running with it. To me, there's not a lot of difference between the two as far as their personality goes. Matt Smith comes aboard and is a totally unique person. So Matt Smith is actually probably one of my favorite Doctor Who characters. And then you have him come into the play, Peter Capaldi come into play. And I think that he did a great job kind of making the character his own. And so I agree. I think that the first series that he was in, or the first season, as we would say here in the States, was very good. And then it kind of just went off the rails. Furry Jeremy says, me ofende ao meu núcleo. Eu temo que ele não respete Furis e Jeremy Puerto Rican. That was using words I have never seen before. So I probably totally butchered that. Eric, what's up, bruv? What's up, bruv? How's it going? Tina says, Oscar winner back in the early 70s, Liza Minnelli won Best Actress. Joel Grey won Best Supporting Actor. And it lost Best Picture to The Godfather. Yeah, I mean, I know of the movie. I've just never seen it before. But The Godfather, deserves it. So much better. Lee says, only local news should cover it. Yeah, I agree. And even local news, though, should not say the person's name. Don't give that person that benefit. And people say, how's that a benefit? Because you are literally putting their name into the minds and hearts of the entire country in some instances. And I think that's terrible. He doesn't, like, the person doing it does not deserve that. The victims do not deserve that name to be known by every person. Like, that's something where it's something that I don't talk about a lot, but now that it's being talked about, it bothers me a lot when I see people do that. Alexander says, my point was that a person was able to buy a gun with those conditions and it shouldn't happen. Don't need any names. No, again, if you're talking about that, then yeah, I think that there definitely is a way to make common sense changes, and I'm all for common sense changes in general. How dare you, Oates, says Furry. Jagan says, guess what? Black Panther got nominated for Golden Globe and Infinity War didn't. Jagan, dude, that was in my video today, and it's stupid. It's so stupid. Black Panther was not better than Infinity War. In fact, Black Panther is not better than a lot of other Marvel films. And yet it is the first Marvel film to ever be nominated for Golden Globe. And you want to know why? Identity politics. That's right. Fight me. People say, oh, that's offensive. That's racist. No. No, I'm sorry. You cannot tell me that that film is better and more deserving than Infinity War on an objective level. On an objective level, like, I'm sorry, they're frustrations. Oh, the frustrations are everywhere. The frustrations are everywhere. Greta says, isn't Amazon remaking Lord of the Rings? That is the plan. I don't know if that's changed, but that is the plan. Furry says, do you play any swell video games? Any swell video games? Play a little bit of Fortnite. There's other games that I would love to get into, but my schedule has been so crazy right now, so I haven't really been able to fit a very good gaming schedule. So I think that might actually be what I do is I have regular live streams on this channel, and I have like bigger, like a random, like mainstream gaming stream on this. I think if I have ever have any like random gaming streams, I might put that on the other channel. But we'll see what happens. That might make things a little too complicated, so maybe I won't do that. Teresa Martin, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Happy St. Nicholas Day. Deck the Aryan with boughs of holly. Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, indeed. St. Nicholas, the reason for the season, guys, is Christ. But Santa Claus is St. Nicholas. St. Nicholas. Never forget. Never forget. Thank you so much. I always appreciate your super chats, Teresa Martin. I really appreciate it. Tina says, they brought up some idiocy back when Lord of the Rings was being made. The complaint then was not enough black people and too many whites. People told them to shut up, and they did. Yeah, exactly right, because so stupid. And I love how, like, remember how, like, for several years it was Oscar's so white? Part of me wants to be like, Oscar's too diverse. Too much diversity. Oscar's too much forced diversity. Because it really feels that way. It really feels that way. And I don't like it. And I don't like it. Tina says, no argument for me on that. The Godfather, enough said. Exactly right. Oh my God. Have I caught up? Have I caught up? Boom. I have caught up. Fantastic. Adam Shawhan, what's up, bruv? In a world where they can't even get the illegal problem fixed, I'm sorry, but gun control will never get fixed either. Just saying. No, Shawhan, I totally agree. I think that there's definitely a lot of intricacies to it as well, but I think that's a good point. Teresa Martin says, did my Catholic joke not quite work? Hold on. Deck the Aryan with boughs of high. I'm trying to get. Sorry, it took me a while. I'm sorry. I got the joke. So yeah, the Aryans. Because at first I was like the Aryan, and my mind was immediately on, what do the Nazis have to do with this? But no, the Aryan heresy. Yes, okay, I got it now. Deck the Aries. See, if I say Arius, I get it. I get it more. But anyway, so Saint Nicholas was a very big fighter against the Aryan heresy. And Aryans were ones that denied the divinity of Christ. So sorry. I'm so sorry. Teresa, sorry, I didn't get that. Nemesis 08, what's up, bro? Welcome back. All right, guys, so while I've caught up with the chat, I'm going to go ahead and pull up my patrons because it's been too long. I have not shouted at my patrons all stream because I've been trying to catch up with you guys. Oh, man. All right, so let's see. Let's pull up active patrons. All right, I'm going to give a huge shout out to all of my patrons: A Great Jedi, Adam Shawhan, Dave Bob, Delete System 32, Donald Hudson, Edward Coleman, Enrique Evangelista, Frank the Tank and the Shawhan Weeder Dog Clan, Greta Zenner, Harold Francis, Inflamed Wood, Ultra Trap Productions, Jason Clark, Jamie Christopher, Jeffrey Toon, Laura Story, Matthew Kadish, Mr. Peabody and his evil twin, Outpost Dyer, Perpetual Punster, PJ, The DJ D Show, Those Two Ball Guys, Tina B, and Voorhees67. You are all amazing and beautiful people. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Hybrid says, give Santa Claus Freddie Mercury's mustache and NPCs will still complain. Oh, it's so true. Dave Bob. Newberry Poppins at least has Emily Blunt going for it. Agree. I love Emily Blunt. I think she's great, and I think that she has a lot of potential to do a lot of good things with that character. But yeah, I just don't like that fact that they're having to remake and reboot every single classic property that they have. Shawhan says, I am just so glad you know your gender and what bathroom to use these days. It seems there are just too many people that can't even figure that out. I agree, man. That whole thing is just so nonsensical. Jagan says, what is your favorite 90s cartoon and show and movie? Oh my God. That's a lot of questions. Favorite 90s cartoon? I love Gargoyles. Gargoyles was such a great show, and it was so short-lived. So I love Gargoyles. Animaniacs is up there as well. The adult humor in that, to this day, you could still go back and, so good. Batman the Animated Series, that would be like my third choice. Batman the Animated Series is so damn good. Favorite 90s movie? Oh, man. I'll have to get back to you on that one because there are so many movies from the 90s that I love. Oh, man. I can't think of one right now. I'm sorry, but those are some shows that I like. Patrick McDuff says, when did NPCs start ruining entertainment and media? It's a good question. I don't know if we've ever figured out an exact start date because they've been around for a very long time. But I want to say that, like, 2007, 2008 may have been, like, the beginning of the downfall. And that's because in American politics, it became, at least in America, and that's because that's when American politics really became focused on identity politics. That's when racial identity became the forefront, and I feel like that's when a lot of division in our country became very, very rampant because of the politics of the day. So that would be kind of like the timeline. I would say it's been around for a long time, longer than that, but as far as it becoming a major problem and kind of like escalating the way it has, that would be one. Hyper says Groundhog Day is a great 90s movie too, in my opinion. That is a great one. Peabody says, in Australia we call Santa Father Christmas, the fat guy that melts in a heavy suit because it's summer here. Oh, that's awesome. William Jenkins, thank you so much for the $10 super chat, man. I appreciate it. Last thing I'll say, in the world of reboots, I wish they would go back further and do movies like Forbidden Planet, Maltese Falcon, etc., and not 80s or 90s stuff because we still remember 80s and 90s. I'll agree with you about Forbidden Planet to an extent. Again, I don't want classic things being remade. Maltese Falcon is great. It's fine. No one's going to be able to reproduce what Humphrey Bogart did. So I don't want anyone to try to be Humphrey Bogart. So I feel like there are certain movies in the 50s, 60s, 70s, like back to the 30s and 40s that just shouldn't be touched because there's no need for them to be touched. They don't need to be updated. They're great. But thank you so much for the donation, man. I really do appreciate it. Perth says, hi, Odin Valkyries. Did you ever see Gummy Bears? No, never seen it, Perth, but welcome back. Hyper says, Jordan Peele wanted to make a live-action Gargoyles movie, but of course it was canceled. Oh, no, Jordan Peele being attached to it, that could be really good. Nemesis, favorite Christmas movie? It's a Wonderful Life. Hands down, It's a Wonderful Life. I watch it every Christmas. I love it so much. It's got a great message to it. Great acting. It stands the test of time. It's a movie that I can watch every single year and still find joy in it and be moved by it. And I think it's wonderful. So if you've never seen it before, watch it. We're probably gonna we are going to watch it over the next few weeks. So this weekend we've got Die Hard. Next weekend we've got Jingle All the Way. I wouldn't be surprised if the week after that, which might be Christmas, so we might not have a stream that weekend. Maybe sometime like off the weekend, and I'll let y'all guys know. But I wouldn't be surprised if the third movie of December becomes that movie because it's just so good. Greta Zenner says, they made Ben-Hur, and my dad and I were like, why? Yeah, seriously. I've never even seen the original Ben-Hur, but I've heard just how great it is. I own it. It came in like a double with the Ten Commandments movie, which I have seen. Greta, in fact, I think we saw it. I think me and Greta saw actually Ten Commandments together, and it was very powerful. Very powerful. Very long, but a very powerful story. Per comment says, we need the Last Starfighter remake. I wouldn't mind that being rebooted. Okay, sounds interesting. Nemesis 08 says, mine is Christmas Vacation, Crappers Full. I see what you did there, man. I see what you did there. Greta says, It's a Wonderful Life is going to play at the Britannia next Sunday at the Britannia. My dad and I will probably see it. That's awesome, Greta. It's such a great movie. So great. Tina says, we Valkyries have a question. Is there a movie you saw years ago and thought it was wonderful, then you rewatched it later and went, what was I thinking? Star Wars Episode 1 and 2. Those were movies that when I saw them in theaters, I was a kid. And I loved them. I thought they were so much fun. And then I rewatched them as an adult. And I was like, why did I? Like, it wasn't that I thought they were entertaining and funny. It was because I thought they were good movies. So when I went back and rewatched them, I was like, how did I not notice this terrible dialogue? Why was I such a dumb kid? Those are the movies that come straight to my mind, though. Because keep in mind, like I was a kid when those movies came out. Because I graduated middle school. I graduated 7th grade in 2002. So that was like right in the thick of the prequels being released. Greta says, we did. That was fun, and Ben-Hur is so good. Yeah, so I definitely want to see Ben-Hur again. And yes, so me and Greta actually saw Ten Commandments when it came out in theaters. It was really cool to see that movie on the big screen. Hybrid says, James Wan said he wanted to make an Aquaman like a love letter to Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, and Raiders of the Lost Ark. Sounds awesome. Looks like underwater Star Wars. It has to be better than episode 7 or 8. Hybrid, that's the reason why I do have hope. And that's the reason why the trailers suck. I will say that flat out. The Aquaman trailers suck. But all the early reviews are indicating that it is a fun 80s romp. Like, it's an 80s inspired romp. And the fact that he's using those names and those titles to say that those are what inspired him, that makes a lot of sense. That would be a part of it. So I do have some hopes. If it is that, then I might love it. I might come out of it saying, guys, I was wrong. The CGI might still be bad, but it's a good movie. I mean, that's probably going to be what my reaction's going to be. But I'm totally open to seeing it. And if it fulfills those expectations, then it'll be great. And that's the reason why, too, I like going in with lower expectations. Because if it's even half good, I'm immediately pleasantly surprised. But if I went in with, like, decent or good expectations, I probably would be disappointed by the CGI alone. So I'm glad that I'm getting my negativity out now so that when I see the movie, it'll be less of a factor. Let's see. 70B says, really? Yes, really, the prequels. Tina says, okay, thanks. I did not see that coming. I know. Like, there's probably some others that I could probably dredge up, but the first one that comes to my mind is that because I remember saying, pod racing, so cool. Because I used to play the pod racing game on N64. And I was like, oh my God, so cool. And I was like, I want to be like Anakin. Anakin's such a cool kid. Oh, he's such a great actor. Because I was in 7th grade. Like I was in middle school, early high school, maybe when the last film came out. And yeah, so those are films where I'm like, what was I thinking? Why did I think that? Nemesis Way says, I will always love the prequels. Even CGI Yoda made me happy. Yeah, again, as an adult rewatching them, there are things that I do enjoy about it that I didn't enjoy as a kid, but I also cannot ignore the terrible dialogue. Mitchell Thistleblum says, my great-grandfather was named after Ben-Hur because his parents were friends with the people who owned the theater where it first premiered. That's awesome, dude. Oh, that's so cool. Daybob says, you also hated me. I love Jar Jar when I was a kid because you're a kid and he was made for kids. Like, he was made to be entertainment for kids. But then as an adult, I was like, what? Why did I like? But I will say after Clone Wars, I do have a little bit more respect for Jar Jar's character. And also it's just fun to do his impersonation. You also hate me. Mr. Jar Jar Binks. Me's your loyal servant. Tina says, mine was Cary Grant, Katharine Hepburn movie called Holiday. When I first saw it, I thought it was a sweet romance. I saw it again years later and realized it has a lot of social... I've never seen Holiday. Wait, that's not Roman Holiday, is it? Or is it just Holiday? I've never seen Holiday, so I wouldn't know. Tina says, can you hear little Odin going, I love pod racing? I love pod racing. I can. I really can. That's so cool. I want to be a pod racer. Oh, why? Why? Childhood, why? Purse says, gotta admit the pod racing video game was very cool. No, it was fun. I will say that much. Even now, thinking back on it, it was a good game. Like, it was a fun game, and there was a lot of really cool elements to it as well. I mean, it was a racing game with pods, with pod racing. So, yeah. There are better racing games, but it's definitely not the worst in the world. Hiram says, maybe I'm over-exaggerating, but why does Villeneuve get so much hate? I think not only is he a great director, but a human being too. At least he doesn't attack his viewers, unlike Rian Johnson. Who is he getting hate from? I don't know who he's getting hate from because I love him. I love, like, Sicario. The first Sicario is one of my favorite modern films. If I had to pick, like, my top 3 favorite movies of the last 10 years, that might even beat out Dark Knight. And I love The Dark Knight. That's, like, one of my, I mean, man, that would be a battle. That would be a hard choice for me to choose between The Dark Knight and the first Sicario film because they're both different, but they're both so damn good. So no, I think Villeneuve's great. I love him. Pete says, even when Disney tries to do something different with their crappy remake like Maleficent, they just made her uncool. And actually, I heard Maleficent was one of their better live-action remakes. I never even saw it, but yeah, it doesn't surprise me. Tina says, just Holiday. Okay, I gotcha. Patrick says, I always hated Jar Jar. I could never stand him when I was a kid. I loved him. Greta says, Roman Holiday is with Gregory Peck and Audrey Hepburn. Okay, so there was some connection there. I figured there was some connection. That's why. Not just in the name. Jagan says, have you heard of Bonkers 90s cartoon? Yes, I've heard of it. I never really got into it, though, when I was a kid. Bjorn, but do you hate sand? Sorry. For a second, I thought it was a serious question, and then I saw sand. But do you hate sand? It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere. That line. Oh, my God. That was the moment that Padme fell in love with him. When he started talking about sand. Oh, but I will say this much. That and PewDiePie's talked about this recently, and he does a lot of meme reviews. And one of the ones that he's admitted that he loves is the prequel memes. I have to say, I love the prequel memes as well. The prequel has become so memeable, and he's even admitted it. It's caused him now to love the movie because now you just appreciate it for so many more reasons. You know, it's not just a good movie that you enjoy. It's a movie that you are just able to have a lot of fun with. So, but that line, I quote that line probably on a daily basis. It's so great. I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating. It gets everywhere. Proper Jeremy, thank you for the $5 super chat. I'm hosting a Council of Jeremy's live stream Saturday, December 15th from 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to honor the first anniversary of Last Jedi, the film that brought us all together. Oh my God. Please like connect to me on either, I think you're on the Discord proper, because that sounds amazing. Hiram says, a lot of people say he's overrated and destroyed Blade Runner. I understand everyone different, maybe. It's just a social media effect. I haven't had that experience. Everyone that I've talked to about that movie loves it and thinks it's great and thinks it's a crime that it didn't make more money because it was that damn good. And it's really sad that no one went to go see it. It makes sense. It was long, so they weren't able to have as many showtimes, and people don't tend to want to go see longer movies in general. So I definitely think that might be a part of it. But yeah, I mean, I haven't really heard people say he destroyed it. I heard a lot of people say that he added to it. Like it's one of the rare sequels where it's a good sequel. Like it not only does justice to the original material, but also continues the story in a very powerful way as well. So I haven't heard that personally, but I'm sorry that people are telling you those things. Keith Howard says, hope they give up remaking Lone Ranger. Wait, they're remaking Lone Ranger again? What? That's terrible. Purse says, the worst part of Star Wars prequels for me was the midichlorian explanation for the Force. I agree. I will say midichlorians became cooler in Clone Wars, and I don't know why. I don't know why, but I definitely agree with you. Patrick says, I hate sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere. Alton Foster says, well, Odin, enjoy the live stream. I've got to lock up and go home. Well, Alton, thank you so much for stopping by. Great to see you in the chat. Laura, it's a short story. Thank you for the $2 super chat. If you could add one curse word to the prequels dialogue. Because it's a long-standing joke on this channel, see you next Tuesday. I think it would be great to hear Jar Jar Binks say see you next Tuesday. Me, sir, Jar Jar Binks, and you, sir. See you next Tuesday. Oh, that's so great. Oh, I want that. Laura, if you can somehow get someone to get Ivan to cut that, to cut that scene and add see you next Tuesday. Oh, man, that'd be so great. That'd be so great. Just to hear turn Jar Jar into a cursing sailor with that accent, and I think it would be perfect. Laura, thank you so much for that question. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Oh, I'm crying. Oh, man. Let's see. Hybrid says, hate to compare, but here you go. Villeneuve, if you didn't like 24/9, it's my fault. Ryan, if you didn't like Last Jedi, you were man babies. No, I agree. He takes full responsibility for his movies, and he is very, very awesome. He's an honorable guy. Dave Bob says, I grew up on Looney Tunes, The Boys, Three Stooges. Yes, I love Three Stooges. And cereals on Saturday morning when I was a kid. I feel privileged, not deprived. My parents raised me on Three Stooges, actually. Three Stooges, Cartoon Network. I loved Cartoon Network. But even the classics I was raised on. Sanford and Son I was raised on. All in the Family. Yeah. Controversial. Amos and Andy. I was raised on a little bit of Amos and Andy as well. So WB says, noise. I know. It's, man. Alexander says, do you think the certain guy who betrayed you and then talked crap on his own channel deserves to have his name mentioned? Are you talking about Sly Jones? I thought he stopped making videos. I don't know. I don't really care about him as much anymore because at the end of the day, you know, people know what he did and he has to live with that. Proper says, why, that's very improper of you. Well, I'm sorry. Laura says, mine would be, thank you for the $2 super chat. Mine would be, I am the effing Senate, biatches. Oh, man. Hearing him say the F word would be great. Oh, man. Pete says, if Aquaman is like an 80s homage, I might just love it considering I'm a huge fan of 80s pop culture. Yeah, I think that's right, Pete, and I think I might feel the same way. Per says, I'm not surprised the new Robin Hood movie flopped. I haven't heard anyone in the last few decades talk about Robin Hood or say how awesome he is. That, and also, too, that movie's been remade, that story's been remade like 100 times. So why would you think it's a good idea to remake that movie again? Just come up with new content, man. Patrick Maduff says, the prequels could have been better if Samuel L. Jackson had cussing. Oh, man, you're so right. Samuel L. Jackson's character, yes, having Mace Windu curse like a sailor, curse like Samuel L. Jackson would be great. I've had it with these mother effing Smith on this mother effing, in the mother effing Senate. So good. JKD Buck says, you were raised on good shows. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I think so as well. Robin Hood Men in Tights, so good. Probably the last really good movie for sure. For sure. All right. Get another huge shout out to my patrons while I've caught up with the chat. Huge shout out to my wonderful, beautiful patrons. A Gray Jedi, Adam Shawhan, Dave Bob, Delete System 32, Donald Hudson, Edward Coleman, Enrique Evangelista, Frank the Tank and the Shawhan Wiener Dog Clan, Greta Zenner, Harold Francis, Inflamed Wood, Ursa Trap Productions, Jason Clark, Jamie Christopher, Jeffrey Toon, Laura Story, Matthew Kadish, Mr. Peabody and his evil twin, Outpost Dyer, Perpetual Punster, PJ, The DJD Show, Those Two Ball Guys, Tina B, and Voorhees67. You are all amazing, beautiful people, and thank you so much for the support. I appreciate every single one of you. Laura, I saw that. It's over, Anakin. I have the effing high ground. Oh, I want to see a supercut. I want to see a supercut of people adding those words in. But again, I need to have Jar Jar Binks cursing like a sailor. I need that in my life. Daybob, thank you for the $1 donation. I would have Obi-Wan say, "What the hell are midi-chlorians?" No, I love to have him say, "What the F are midi-chlorians, man?" Greta says, someone should cut Samuel L. Jackson's dialogue from Pulp Fiction and put it in the prequels. Oh my God, Greta, yes. Yes, that might be a job for Ivan. I think that'd be a great thing. Will Gentry says, I assume they made Robin Hood again because there has never been a high-quality modern version of Robin Hood. The 2 TV shows are really good, but none of the films are, so maybe that says something. I will say one thing. I did not mind the Russell Crowe Robin Hood. I was entertained. Was it amazing? No, not at all. But I was entertained by it. So if I had to pick one, I'd probably choose, out of the modern adaptations, I'd probably choose that one personally. CWD says, how about a remake reboot of Santa Claus Conquers the Martians? That one probably could work. That's so obscure. That probably could work in today's world. Jagan says, Hanna-Barbera made the robotic Stooges and 80 sitcoms into cartoons. Dude, yeah, I love all the Hanna-Barbera stuff. I love all of his cartoons and all of his work. It's so good. Laura, is a see you next Tuesday. It's so good. I want to hear that. Alexander says, Holdo, I'm an effing feminist. # resist hyperspace ram. Tina says, YouTuber George, or is it Georg? Rokal Schmidt did a short analysis of the new Robin Hood, and it was pretty much why. The people behind it wanted to update it for a modern audience. Yep. Identity politics. And that's what happens. Will Gentry says, yeah, for a Legend of Robin Hood's quality, just good isn't good enough. Note the national pride coming out here. No, I hear you. Will Gentry, I think you have every right to make that kind of a statement, man. So I respect that. Tina says, and one of the stars even claimed they wanted Robin Hood to be a superhero. I'm serious. Rockwell Schmidt was like, yeah, no, yeah. What? No, he's a regular everyday dude. You don't make him into a superhero. Then you have the Green Arrow. Green Arrow is Robin Hood as a superhero. Pete 1972 says, Curly is my favorite. Whoop, 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 whoop. More layer of the cheese. More layer of the cheese. Whoop, 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 whoop. Certainly. Curly is pretty great. Shemp is great too. Curly Joe is not so hard. Crazy. I love all of them. I think they're all great. Even the later ones when Curly had passed away still worked. Like, they always had really good chemistry with each other. So, Laura says, what about the effing droid attack on the Wookiees? Brian says, you do a great imitation of Rian Johnson. Well done, man. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Well, you know, when you're writing a movie, it's very important to ignore your audience because it's not about them. It's about me. It's about the message that I'm trying to get out. And I think it's very important that, that you go see it for me, that you give me your money. And if you expect to be pleased, if you expect me to pander to your wants and desires and to give you what you want to see, then you don't understand filmmaking. It's all about my ego and I making the best film that for me. That's pretty much what his movie thought process is. December 2 says, Mace Windu says, I'm tired of these mother effing Sith in this mother effing Senate. Hiram says, plot twist, Lando took plastic surgery, changed his name to Holdo, and the transformation formed Illuminati confirmed. Birth Comics says, based on Yoda's quote, Rey is evil. If you end your training now, if you choose the quick and easy path as Vader did, you will become an agent of evil. Yeah. No, I think you're right. Wars. Everett Coleman says, crossover franchise Russell Crowe Robin versus Russell Crowe Gladiator. Oh my God, that'd be great. No, no, I am your effing father. That'd be great. Outpost Dire, Lord Vader, can you effing hear me? Greta says, there are a lot of Star Wars censored vids, but you probably want to actually hear the words. No, seriously, Greta, for sure. But that's a good point. There are really great censored ones out there, which I actually think work better because you don't have to make up a random voice or like insert someone else's voice into it. Instead, just adding in the bleeps makes it sound like they're saying it. And, oh, man, those work so much. I know what you're talking about. Alexander says, have you talked about Poe in The Last Jedi? One of the couple of things I kind of liked from The Force Awakens, and they made sure to back over Star Wars another time to ruin him. No, I like Poe. Poe Dameron was one of my favorite characters introduced in The Force Awakens, and they totally emasculated him and ruined his character. So, post our effing Republic credits will do fine. Greta says Carrie Fisher's dialogue cut with her cut with her stand-ups. Oh my god, that'd be so great. If you've never seen a Carrie Fisher stand-up, you are missing out. She is so funny. I had the privilege to see her on Broadway live. I saw her on Broadway during her show, and I actually got her autograph. And she was awesome. She was so cool, so gracious. You know, didn't take pictures of people because obviously she had places to be, but signed every single playbill that was in front of her and was just very gracious. And she's awesome. And rest in peace. I really miss and I'm sad that Carrie Fisher can't finish this incredible role that she brought to life. Dave Bob says, Yoda says lightning I bring. Patrick Duff says, watch YTP Mace Moth Mother effing Windu. It's hilarious. Well, I can't wait to check that out. Please, McDuff, if you can send me a message on Twitter or email it to me, that's a more likely way that I'll be able to see it. Steve Lee says, new Robin Hood movie idea, Robin Hood and Achu searching for locksmith. Oh, that'd be so good. Thistleblum says, in the style of Papa, can you hear me? Vader, can you hear me? Greta says, everyone should watch her stand-up show on HBO Go. It's so funny. That's actually, I think that's what was filmed from her Broadway show. It's so funny. Alexander says, The Force Awakens was trash, but Poe was a cool commander and seemed like an encouraging guy. In The Last Jedi, he's obnoxious or something, kicked chairs over, and what's going on here? Nope, I definitely agree with you for sure. Yes, Furry, I'm very happy. All right, guys, so we've been on for an hour and a half. So I think I'm going to start to wrap up the stream. There's a couple things that I want to try and do. I have to make a video for a student for a project. So I want to make sure I'm able to do that for him and have the time to do that. But guys, thank you so much for joining. Let me go ahead and just go through these last comments though. Proper Jeremy says, do you still have the signed playbill? Yes, I don't know where it is. I think it's at my parents' house, but yes, I do have it. Will Gentry says, oh, the perfect one. Swear in the prequels when Anakin goes in to kill the younglings, when he fires up the last guy, the one kid just goes, F yes, Master Skywalker, what are we going to do? Pew! F. Frick. Jagan says, tell Jeremy that the Game Awards is live on IGN. I'm sure he knows that. I mean, yeah, I don't talk to him every day, so if I have time to, I definitely will. But guys, you are all amazing. You all have a good night. Peabody, Kigo, Rogers, Abe Lincoln, the Blind Huntsman. That's Dave Bob, you have a good night. Tina, Semper 2, Laura, Furry Jeremy, Bjorn, Jeremy Smurth, Dallin Hudson, Mr. Thistleblum, Rhaegar Targaryen, Edward Coleman, McDuff, Jagan, Frank the Tank, and the Shawhan Weird Dog Clan. Anakin, I feel you will be the effing death of me one day. Good night, bruv. Hypern, good night, bruv. Outpost Dire, Obi-Wan to the cloners. That's why I'm effing here. Good night, Greta. Good night, Peabody. Teresa Martin, good night, good night, good night. Mwah, mwah, mwah. If I missed you, you were all amazing. Thank you so much for joining. So glad that this has been so much more successful. Glad I moved it back to this channel. Hopefully the algorithm is fixed. So again, this video will be unlisted. So if you have a link to it, you'll be able to watch it. If not, it will be uploaded onto the Welcome to Asgard channel, which if you have not subscribed to, please do. Again, you'll have access to the live streams, and also I will be posting more vlogs soon. Probably going to try and get some videos of the puppies on top of that, edited into those videos too. So thank you. You are all amazing, and thank you to my patrons. Thank you to everyone who donated tonight. I really do appreciate it. You are all amazing and beautiful people. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great night, and as always, guys, God bless, and join us on Saturday where we will be streaming Die Hard on this channel. You're all amazing, and I love you. Good night, guys.